My father was a truck driver. I have been fascinated by his work since childhood. Sometimes I went with him on various trips. It was amazing. Road romance was my thing. I dreamed that when I grew up, I would also be a truck driver, like my father. And so it happened. As soon as I could pass on the rights, I immediately began to learn how to drive a truck. It was very interesting. I could drive a huge car. When I was sitting in the cab of the truck, all the other cars were very small. I felt like I was at the head of all traffic. But when I started earning my first money, I no longer wanted to work my whole life behind the wheel. I was interested in this occupation, but I needed to develop further. I studied the peculiarities of logistics, points of sale, and packaging. I was gaining experience that I myself would open my own transportation company in the future. On the way to my cherished dream, I met Louise. Louise worked as a simple waitress in a roadside cafe. But she immediately sunk into my soul. This green-eyed brunette with a perky ass instantly sparked my interest in her. Initially, we just had a nice chat when I went to this place, but I wanted more. Louise, good morning. Good morning, Jack. I see you are very early today? Louise replied. Yes, me need to go for invoices, but I haven't eaten at home. How can you please me for breakfast? I asked with a smile. Jack, sit down. Then scrambled eggs and bacon. Great, just what we need. I will bring it now. I had breakfast and called Louise again. Louise, can I have a minute? Yes, of course. What is Jack? Louise, I thought so. I do not insist, but still I want to ask, do you want to go on a date with me? I asked nervously and a little shyly, rubbing the back of my head with my hand. Jack, well, what are you? Not decisive. I already thought that you would never invite me. Louise replied, with a smile. And I thought that you would not agree. This is amazing. Maybe we'll meet today? Yes, great. I finish my shift at 7 in the evening. Great. Then I'll pick you up. Agreed, Jack. See you soon. See you later, Louise. It was the kindest and most cheerful morning of my life. I haven't been happy in such a long time. This beauty agreed to go on a date with me. I was immensely happy and looking forward to the evening. In the evening, I drove Louise home. She went to the shower and changed. I stayed to wait in her living room. Louise came to me in a bright blue dress with bare shoulders. She looked simply irresistible. We walked towards the city alley. It was a delightful evening. We talked nicely. I tried to joke, and even a few times I did well. This evening was bright for both of us, and we had many more similar evenings. We felt happy when we were together. We both saw no reason to postpone the wedding, so a year later we got married. In Louise, I never noticed self-interest or greed. She has always been open and honest with me. I didn't want her to work at that cafe anymore, especially since it didn't pay that well, and I could already support myself and Louise quite easily. My dream eventually came true. I opened my own small transportation company. I collected money, bought several cars. Louise was my first employee. She was quite interested in what I do. She was looking for various customers who needed transportation services. I set up logistics, traveled and negotiated with larger suppliers who needed transportation services on an ongoing basis. So I gradually entered the international market. It was just great. I felt incredible pride in my life's work. So we lived with Louise. 25 years have passed in marriage with her. We lived in abundance. We had a chic house with a large territory. There was a chic landscape design in the courtyard. In general, we had everything for a comfortable life. Once Louise came to me with one request, after which everything in my life began to change. Jack, listen, I ran into my old friend. He also used to be a trucker, but during this time he managed to reach excellent heights in his development. We accidentally met and talked. It turns out that he has a bunch of points abroad that need a responsible carrier. This is just a great opportunity to double our Turnover. Luis, dear, what kind of goods does he have? I asked cautiously. He deals with a variety of vegetables and fruits. He has a lot of work. Don't worry, I've known Lucas since childhood. He is a good person. This is a great way to make money. Honey, I don't even know. Everything somehow sounds too good, as if there is some kind of catch. Beloved, do not wind yourself up. Everything will be fine. I'm not rushing you with a decision for starters. You can just chat with Lucas, and then you'll decide for yourself. Okay, honey, but I'm not in a hurry. Soon we met with Lucas in a restaurant. We came to the restaurant. At our table sat a long-haired blonde. With blue eyes and in a white jacket, he greeted us with a dazzling white smile. Jack, Louise, hello. I am very glad to see you. Sit down and order. Today I treat. Hello, Lucas. Heard about you. Nice to meet you. It's nice to meet you, Jack. You're even better looking than Louise told me about you. She told me all about you buzzing. We're old acquaintances, but I have never seen her so happy. Looking at you, if I were gay, I would run after you myself. Lucas started joking. Lucas, do not embarrass my husband, otherwise he will run away from me. And you, Louise, hold on tight to such a man. I noticed that Lucas was paying quite a lot of attention to me all evening. Louise called my successes, and Lucas admired. Then we gradually moved on to the case that Lucas was ready to offer me. The conditions offered by him were really very attractive. He constantly said that he needed a reliable and proven person, and in me he sees just such a person. After some time, I nevertheless agreed to cooperate with Lucas. Moreover, I was constantly persuaded by Louise. We approved deliveries and route lists, and the work began. At first, everything was fine. The deliveries were on time, and the first payments by Lucas were also on time. But over time, Lucas began to delay payments to me, as there were some delays in his enterprises. It's already starting to annoy me. Lucas, what the hell? We didn't agree, I said indignantly. Jack, yes, I understand. I did not expect this myself. I promise I will pay you everything and even more. And my people, too, should I pay with your promises? Do you understand that this is all coming from my pocket? I don't work with anyone. Either everything goes as we originally agreed, or we don't work at all, because I don't like it. Jack, it's great to work with you. You are a responsible person, and I'm not wrong about you. You're doing a great job. Just put yourself in my position a little. Initially, I paid you everything on time, but now a force majeure situation has arisen. Everything will definitely get better, I promise you. I don't scatter words, Lucas assured me. Okay, Lucas, let's see. I also expressed my displeasure to Louise. Louise, why the hell did I listen to you? I didn't like the whole thing at first, I said indignantly to Louise. Honey, well, you already had situations and more difficult. Remember deliveries in January 3 years ago? Then you generally risked being left without money even for fuel. And here Lucas only slightly delays the payment. Louisa protected Lucas. Yes, I remember, and that is why I did not dare to make dubious deals from that moment on. Lucas is clearly hiding something and I don't like it. I don't get into his affairs. I'm not interested. But it's very important for me to receive the agreed payments on time. I don't like paying people salaries from my own earnings. And I also can't and don't want to tell them that I'm delaying my salary because I treat all my employees with respect. Honey, don't worry. Everything will be fine. Neither Louise's nor Lucas's words consoled me. I sensed some deception in all of this, especially my suspicion deepened when Lucas continued to delay. It also became embarrassing to me that I didn't even see what I was transporting. My guys drove up in cars to the points of receipt of goods. They were loaded with goods, and they left, and at the point of arrival they unloaded the goods. Before, I didn't worry much. All the documents were in order. It's just that the transportation of such large volumes of vegetables and fruits raised more and more questions for me. I have not yet encountered such volumes. In this trading niche, it was very suspicious. I didn't trust Lucas. I needed to check him out. He was clearly hiding something. I started looking for information about Lucas. I knew where he lives. Nothing unusual I managed to find out about him. We visited Lucas at home, and on my next visit, I decided to discreetly install hidden cameras in his house. I wanted to know what he does when he's alone. And this opportunity happened pretty soon. I found an experienced person who advised me on this. Equipment. I bought a few tiny cameras that could shoot long hours without recharging and transmit information wirelessly. When we were at Lucas's house, I noticed a bookcase where you could easily and discreetly leave a hidden camera. Then I also hid the cameras in the corners of the rooms, from where there was a great angle. Everything was ready. I once again listened to Lucas's laudatory odes, but what a great guy I am. And that he is proud of working with me. Louise and I left, and I was itching to watch Lucas. Louise was going to go away for the weekend to her father, but I had a little work, and I decided to stay at home. In the evening, I came home and impatiently opened my laptop, went remotely to the cloud server, where the video was already captured. The first time I watched it in fast forward, there was nothing unusual. Lucas hasn't been home for most of this time, but the last few hours have been very interesting. They have been so interesting that my hair stood up in smoke on my head. I saw Louise, who was supposed to go to her father. It's been a tough week. Lucas sighed heavily. And don't say, Lucas, my husband's whining has already just got me. He always strives to terminate the contract with you. Louise spoke up. Yes, I'm already tired of playing a good partner with him. This cretin is needed only because of its logistics. It's the perfect cover for smuggling cigarettes. We already on this idiot were able to earn a solid amount. Maybe you can still pay him his money so that he doesn't do stupid things? Louise asked. Yes, he is not capable of anything. Let him go on and grumble further. I will, of course, throw bread crumbs at him, but he does not deserve more. Let it work on. And you and I will continue to profit in order to earn for a carefree old age. What, you have me insidious, Lucas? Louise said with a playful smile and sat on Lucas' knees, unbuttoning his pants. These bastards started fucking right in front of my eyes. I was just blown away by what I saw. It is difficult to find words to describe what I felt then. They lied to me and brazenly used me, and they could still set me up at any moment for smuggling. It was both anger and despair rolled into one. I tossed the laptop to the side and flipped the table over with my foot. Such meanness could be expected from Lucas, but I never expected to find out about Louise. She never gave me a reason for jealousy. She always behaved like a decent wife, but it didn't turn out the way I thought. My rage turned into despair. It had to be expressed in just revenge. I called Johnny. Johnny, hi. Are you returning with goods? I asked the truck driver. Yes, Jack. Everything is in order. I will be there soon. Take your time. Come to our warehouse first. I'll be waiting for you there. Understood, Jack. Okay, I'm going. I could hardly wait for the truck to arrive at the warehouse. Without too much modesty, I broke all the seals and opened the truck. At first glance, everything was in order. Everywhere there were boxes of fruit and vegetables, but a little deeper I found a sealed box in which there were cigarettes with fake excise stamps, but there were no documents for them at all. I called Christopher. He was a friend of mine from school. He had good connections in the police. I decided to turn to him for help so that he would help me get even with these bastards and at the same time not be put in jail with them for complicity. Louise, is there anything you want to tell me? I asked Louise the last time we were still at our house. No, Jack. What are you talking about? Scared, asked Louise. Now I will ask you for the last time. If you are hiding something from me, then tell me everything here. And now, are you hiding something from me? Jack, where did you get that from? No, of course not. Okay then, I answered with a smile. We were going to visit Lucas again. When we arrived, I sat in a more comfortable leather chair and drank a martini with 2 olives, peering into the hypocritical faces of these bastards. Well, Lucas, how are we doing? I suddenly asked. Yes, everything is in order. Why are you asking? Lucas answered. Well, if it's okay to fuck my wife and smuggling through me, then it's not okay at all. What did you say, you bastard? Changed in the face of Lucas. What you heard, you lying piece of shit. I said, I'm still sitting in a chair. Lucas jumped up and wanted to run up to me, but I grabbed a martini bottle that was not far from me and accurately threw it with all my might right in the face of this bastard. The hit was good, the strong. Bottle shattered into splinters, leaving a bloody trail on Lucas's face, who fell and began to crawl across the floor. Then a special police squad broke in, pointing guns at these bastards. I calmly got up from my chair, carefully straightened my jacket over my shoulders and pulled up my tie, slowly placing my martini glass on the table. This is how it happens, you lying bitch, when you set up your husband and cheat on him. You finished the game. I know everything, and now you definitely won't say hello, I said in the face of Louise, who was shaking with fear. I then calmly walked out of the house, watching as the handcuffed couple were put into the police car. I gave all the information I had to the police. Lucas was searched and found a lot of evidence of his involvement in smuggling. Louise was added to the case as an accomplice. Now these bastards are facing a solid prison term. My revenge was a success, especially since I got away with it and continued to successfully develop my company. I only had an unpleasant aftertaste inside, but it continued to dissipate over time.